Hello, my name is Jordan Bell, and today I will be sharing my observation report on eliciting and scaffolding student responses from grades pre-K to 5th in a ESL classroom. And for this project, I watched 4 online classroom videos ranging from 1st to 5th grade, and then I analyzed how each teacher encouraged the students to participate and supported their language development. The 4 classes I observed were a 1st grade ESL class in Taiwan, a 3rd grade ESL class in Monterrey, Mexico, a 4th grade ESL math lesson using the area model, and a 5th grade social studies class in the US. So my focus for this project was to explore how teachers elicit and scaffold student responses across ESL and content-based lessons. So I chose this focus because communication is at the heart of language learning. And when teachers create opportunities for students to speak, question, and explain, they're really not just teaching content, they're building confidence and academic language. So throughout my observation, I look for moments when teachers help students use English meaningfully and not just repeat it. The first class I observed was a 1st grade ESL class taught by teacher Antonio Grayo in Taiwan. So this lesson stood out because it balanced fun and structure really well, in my opinion. He started with a show and tell game where students would pull random objects from a mystery bag and had to describe them in English, and they couldn't memorize answers ahead of time, so it really encouraged spontaneous speaking. For example, one of the students compared the sound of a stapler to a train ticket punch, and that showed both creativity and real communication. And then the class moved in to phonics and writing games, which focused on long and short E sounds. So the students used small whiteboards and they to write words on there and competed in teams. What I really liked is how the teacher gave all directions in English, like open your book, erase the whiteboard, close your notebook, and because that just built strong listening skills while keeping the classroom organized. So overall, this class showed that even young learners can practice real unrehearsed English when tasks are fun, clear, and just well scaffolded in general. The second class was a 3rd grade ESL class in Monterrey, Mexico, where the teacher used whole brain teaching, or WBT. This approach combined call and response routines and gestures and choral repetition. For example, the teacher reviewed classroom rules like speak only English, and the student repeats each one enthusiastically using motions to reinforce the meaning behind it. They also practice vocabulary words such as borrow and burrow while connecting the words to visuals and definitions. So even though the sound quality wasn't great in that video, I could still see how the teacher kept students actively engaged, and that combination of movement, repetition, and rhythm really helped maintain a focus and energy. And it also made speaking English feel safe for everyone in the classroom. No one was singled out since the class spoke together. And this kind of reminded me of the total physics response, the TBR strategies, where physical movement reinforces language comprehension and recall. Next, I watched 4th grade ESL class focused on math vocabulary, specifically using the area model to multiply 18 by 21. The teacher encouraged students to present their work and explain their reasoning step by step. She asked guiding questions like, what approach did you use? And what do we call these things, factors or partial products? She didn't just accept answers, she really pushed them for academic precision. And that really helped the students move from everyday phrases like lined up to formal terms like maintain place value. So this was a strong example of a content-based ESL, also known as CLIL, where the students learn language through subject content. So by combining math and language, the teacher helps students strengthen both the conceptual understanding and the academic vocabulary. The final video was Mrs. Careberry's 5th grade social studies class, and it was honestly one of my favorites. She began the lesson with a quick history fact like Massachusetts ratifying the Constitution. Then she transitioned into a sports analogy to explain the Revolutionary War. And she asked a quote like, does the team that's favored to win always win? And students shared real sports examples, and then she connected that idea to the British versus the Continental Army. So this made the topic relatable and set up the discussion on strengths and weaknesses of the Continental Army. And then later, she used a creative writing activity, and students were paired up to write a short text message conversation about the revolution using abbreviations like LMG or TTYL. It was a clever way to really blend in modern communication with academic content, helping students summarize key ideas in their own space or in their own voice. Across all four classrooms, I noticed the effective teachers balance structure with freedom. So they use clear routines and modeling, but they also give students room to express themselves as well. Uh, Elicitation took many forms through questions, games, and real life examples, while scaffolding included modeling, visuals, and gradual vocabulary support. So these observations showed me that students talk more when the task is real, fun, and clear. But it also reminded me that consistent English routines, such as giving directions or expectations in English, are powerful tools for comprehension and classroom order in general. And so if I were teaching, here are a few techniques I'd apply right away. I would use the mystery talk bags to spark some spontaneous speech and curiosity, then incorporate gestures and call and response for engagement and pronunciation purposes. And then create word ladders that help students shift from everyday terms to academic ones. And then encourage text style summaries that transition into more formal writing. Practice listening routines in English so students understand classroom directions. And then finally, always pair speech with visual or actions, especially for the younger learners. These small strategies really do build confidence and keep lessons interactive and support both language and content learning. At the professional level, this project really showed me how valuable observation and reflection are for teacher growth. And I'd love to participate or help create a video sharing group where teachers record short clips of their lessons and like each one give their feedback and opinions. I also believe ESL professionals should continue promoting content integrated instruction where students practice English through real subjects like math, science, or history. And then finally, we need to keep classrooms culturally and linguistically responsive, blending students' everyday literacy, such as texting, pop culture, with academic skills combined. As a profession, our goal is to really just keep learning, collaborating, and innovating so that students' voices are always at the center of instruction. So basically, in short, eliciting talk and layering scaffolds means more voices, deeper thinking, and stronger learning for everyone involved. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation. This project really helped me see how creative and flexible teaching can be, and I hope you enjoyed learning about these classrooms as much as I did. Thank you.